Some of you might recognize this rail. It's actually a pretty famous rail. This is the actual 5-stair rail from the Berrics that was, you know, to the left of the 10-stair and up that upper 5-stair section. Pretty much my favorite rail, or one of my favorite rails at the Berrics, which is weird because it's a square rail and usually I'm not a fan of that. I mean, first of all, an unbelievable amount of history was made on this rail, as well as just a bunch of memories for me. I mean, I grew up watching the Berrics, and to be able to get older and skate the Berrics while it was still there was a crazy cool experience for me. So to be able to have a piece of, I mean, I guess it sounds cliche, but to be able to have a piece of history is really cool to me. Sorry for the interruption, I'll make this quick. I'm filming this the day after I finished this video. This video was a success. We took the actual Berrics 5-stair rail, we mounted it and made a Berrics 5-stair replica to the best of our abilities given the circumstances. And we skated it. That was the goal of this video, and as you'll see as you continue watching, we succeeded in accomplishing that. However, after editing this video and going through the footage and kind of just looking at the rail more, I realized that I really just wasn't happy with how it came out. As you'll see in this video, while it works, it looks ugly, it looks sloppy, the proportions are off, and it's skatable, but it's very awkward to skate. Since editing this video, I pulled out the rail, I undid all the modifications that I did, I took it back to the drawing board, and I started from scratch, and I made version 2, which is so much better than what you'll see in this video. I'm looking at it right now. It looks proper, it skates so unbelievably much better. It's better. However, I put literal blood, sweat, and tears and a ton of hours into this video, and I had gotten it edited, so I still wanted to post this video to show version 1, because it was my first for a lot of these things. I guess what I'm trying to say is treat this video as part 1, and tomorrow, or the day after this video is posted, I'll be posting a part 2 with the better revised version of this rail. I think you'll see what I mean as you continue watching this video. That being said, sorry that took a while. I'm gonna take you backwards to before when I cut you off, and here is building version 1 of this. I'm excited for you guys to see the new version in tomorrow's video. Okay. I'm not gonna give away my sources, but while they were tearing down the Berrics, I know that there were some people that were, you know, trying to repurpose a lot of the obstacles, chop them up and sell them as memorabilia, which to each their own, everyone's doing their own thing, whatever. But I couldn't let this get chopped up and sold. That's so sad. So I weaseled my way into picking this thing up, and I've had it for, I'm so bad with time, 6 months now, whenever the Berrics shut down and got demolished. Because it's so iconic, and one of my favorite obstacles at the Berrics, I wanted to literally just recreate it, because I had this when I was living in LA. So the original plan was to work with Keen ramps to make just a perfect literal Berrics 5-stair replica, like just recreate that stair set and have it in my yard. But then, you know, life happened. I sold my house, I moved out of LA, moved up to NorCal, and I kind of knew moving up here that I'd have more space and opportunity to do stuff with it, because I have land now, you know? But I mean, we've just been so busy with everything else, not even skate park related, just house-wise, yard work-wise, like it's a ton of work, and I love it. But again, the Berrics 5-stair rail has been neglected until now. Quickly, I wanted to kind of give you my thought process as to what we're doing here. It is an absolute dream to be out of LA and to be here. I'm on a little under 3 acres, so the possibilities are really endless. That being said, I mean, most of the acreage is dirt and not concrete, not exactly skatable material, and I don't want to ruin the nature of it by just paving everything, you know? I love skating, but that's not my entire life. You know, there was always the option of putting it on one of the driveways, but it can't be here because I need my car to go in and out, but it can't really go there because that's not level. It's ever so slanted downward. I've been playing with this idea I've been here for 2 months, so for a little over a month now, I've been trying to figure this out. There's obviously a million different ways to do this, and just because I think a certain way is the best idea doesn't mean it is, but I do think I came to a conclusion as what's most practical for me at least. This upper driveway is where the rest of the skate park is. We got the quarter pipe, we have the box, we have the A-frame rail, we have the flat bar, and this thing I kind of tuck away when it's not in use because this is still a driveway. Like, we still use it to park cars. Cars need to be able to go in and out, and when UPS or FedEx or packages get delivered, they need this space too. The layout that I have all this stuff, I kind of have off to the side enough that you still have a working driveway and parking area. At first, I thought it made the most sense because this is like like a huge area to just have the Berrics 5-stair replica here, fully build this out into a bigger skate park. And again, maybe one day, but at least for where I am now in my life, that's just a bit much. I know I'm sounding like a broken record if you guys watch my videos consistently. This is mainly for the new people, but there's a fully detached garage, warehouse, shop, workspace, whatever you want to call it. Which, I mean, this in itself is so sick. Like, this was a huge selling point for the property for us. And right now, we open it up. I've been doing a lot of work on it, but I want one half for sort of my work stuff, whether it's working on my drift car, working on some of my fingerboard obstacles, fabrication, welding, any of that. And the other half, as you can see, is a little bit more fun oriented. I love to have fun. I love having fun things. I love skateboarding, but that being said, I also live with my girlfriend, and I do have a life outside of social media, and I don't want my entire house, my entire property to be fully just like a skate haven, skate warehouse, YouTube training facility. Yeah, I mean, it sounds cool on paper, but that's just not what I want. This has been a very, very, very long-winded way of explaining why I want to put the Berrics 5 rail right there. I don't know why that took me so long to explain. I have a homie whose name is Nash. His Instagram is @sorryforfingerboarding. He's a very big name in the fingerboarding community. Years and years and years ago, he made a fingerboard replica of the entire Berrics park, and everything was done to scale. Because everything was done to scale, that means he had the exact measurements of every single obstacle in the park, and I've been talking to him, and these right there are the Berrics 5-stair measurements. You may be able to figure it out by now, but the reason that these measurements are important is because this rail was made for those exact measurements, so they kind of have to have the same measurements if you want it to work. The main issue you'll see is that the height of the stairs is 30 inches. I really did think I was gonna get insanely lucky for a second with this, but I didn't. The size of this drop, as you can see, is about 25 and a half, maybe? 25 and a half, yeah. This kind of puts a damper on things, as we're gonna have to make some compromises, and I'm not very good at math. At the Berrics, this rail was removable, which is what these posts are. There is holes in the floor that those would stick into. These would essentially be underground, and it would be resting on the floor like that, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, this isn't the first time that I've been 5 inches short in my life, but I've always seemed to make do with it, so this is no exception. I was essentially left with two options. The first option was going to be taking the total height, which was what, 25 inches, dividing that by 5, so you'd have 5-inch stairs if you were going to make a 5-stair replica. The only problem with that is that because the height is different, the angle of the rail would be different, and if the angle of the rail would be different, then these feet would not sit correctly because those were designed for a different angle of the rail. So, this is what led us to option 2. I've been brainstorming this all morning. It took me way too long to come up with this conclusion. Option 2 is, it's not going to be a Berrics 5-stair replica. It's going to be a 4-stair that uses the Berrics 5-stair rail, but the 4-stair is going to use the same dimensions as the Berrics 5-stair. I'm pretty sure that's like the typical rise over run for stairs too, is 1 foot run, 6-inch rise. So it's 1 foot long for each stair, 6 inches tall for each stair. It's going to be a 4-stair. 6 times 4 is 24. That gives us an inch. So the top stair is going to be an inch taller, which is definitely not to code or correct, and you're probably gonna trip on it. This is for skating. This is for fun. I've never made stairs before. I don't even know if I can get that far. This is more gonna be a test of my ability to see if I can make stairs, having no experience making stairs ever, and try to make this skatable. You can see here that the rail was mounted on the second to top stair and the second to bottom stair is where those posts went in. That's obviously with 5 stairs, so if we're doing 4 stairs, we are gonna have a bit of a difference. We're either gonna have the top post of the stair be on the very top, so where you pop, which would make the rail 6 inches taller to get onto than what it used to be at the Berrics, but I don't like the sound of that. Or the second option is to have the bottom post on the floor as opposed to on the second to last stair. That's gonna ensure that the pop onto the rail feels exactly like it did at the Berrics. That doesn't change at all. The only difference is that the dismount from the rail to the ground is gonna be 6 inches quicker. 6 inches closer to the ground, which it's a bummer. I would love to make it an exact replica, but for what we're working with, it's not going to. This has been a hell of a long intro. I'm sorry. I'm kind of just explaining myself out loud to see if it actually makes sense. At the end of the day, if we are mounting this onto the concrete ground and not onto a stair, we are going to have to chop that off. I guess that's what we're doing. All right, so you know that entire intro to this video where I just spent an absurd amount of time explaining step by step how I'm gonna do everything to make sure that it's perfectly right? I changed my mind. I'm not gonna do any of that. Home Depot to the rescue. Hooray. I need a Home Depot sponsorship, bro. I was thinking to myself, and I can either spend, you know, hours trying to get the correct rise over run to have it match the Berrics rail completely, or I can just call it good enough and I can go to Home Depot and I can get these pre-cut stringers. These ones right here, because we're gonna have 1 stair, 2 stair, 3 stair, and then the concrete is gonna be the 4th stair, so I need these. They might not be the exact rise over run that I need, but I mean, it's gonna be close enough and I'm gonna make it work regardless. Work faster, not better. I might regret saying this, but I'm actually feeling pretty confident. I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4 of the stringers because I think I want like a pretty wide stair set. And then I got some concrete, god damn it, open. Some concrete fasteners in there, and then I also got a hammer drill, which is something I've actually been needing for other projects, so this was my excuse to finally get it. So, I mean, it's kind of intimidating, but at the same time, like, it seemed pretty straightforward. I also got a sugar-free Red Bull because I'm watching my calories, even though it's probably worse for you than just drinking a Red Bull in the first place. Cheers. All right, we just got back to the house, and I know it's not going to be the proper rise over run, but I think it'll be close enough. But this is kind of going to show me how close enough is. I'm just going to grab one of these and set it up next to the drop and just cross my fingers that it's close enough. And yeah, I actually think that's perfect. Wow, wait, hold on. I forgot to bring a tape measure to Home Depot, so I didn't actually measure it. I just lost the tape measure. Oh, it's over. Okay, so this is the other part of the equation that's kind of a bummer. Champagne problems. It's sick regardless. But the wall ride, obviously you're gonna hit the extension, you're gonna come back over here, then Keen Ramps is adding the wall ride against the wall right there. So I mean, you can see if you're skating the stairs this way, you're gonna hit the wall ride right there. So I set the tape measure up. We still have to figure out the exact dimensions of the transition, but Corey estimated that it would come out to about 6 feet from the wall, which is right there, which still gives you space to hit the rail. Again, this is gonna go, so ignore this being here. It'll seem way more open without that there. This is a weight-bearing post though, so I'm thinking the rail's probably gonna go here, so you can still hit it backside and front side. If the rail's there, it's pretty much in line there, so it's like, I'm sure people will hit the edge of it. Again, champagne problems. It's gonna be sick regardless. So it looks like we're roughly at 7 and we're roughly at 10, but obviously whatever we have as this top layer, we can extend out if we need to. It looks good. I think it's gonna work. All right, so the first step is going to be, you can see that these were concrete anchored in, so I'm honestly just kind of duplicating this, but with these and way wider. The first step is to get those out, but look at all those spider eggs. Change of plans. I'm gonna use my brain. There's really only a slight height difference there, so I'm just gonna unscrew these stringers from that and then actually just build off of that one. Alrighty. We're just gonna take these out. And I guess there's just 2 on the other side and that's it. There's 1 and there's 2. There's 2 on the top. 1, 2. There it goes. Spiders! I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to destroy your... Well, I guess technically I did mean... Oh, don't go on the drill, man. Don't need that anymore. It's been a minute. I've been slacking on the sweeping content ever since I got the leaf blower. I'll just hit you with a quick one-handed reverse sweep. Just clearing this out, you know, just teasing you guys here with the sweeping content. That's all you get for today. This is coming along. This is gonna work. Remember all of that plywood and lumber and 2x6s, 2x4s that we yanked out when we removed that wall in the middle there? My goal was to reuse as much of that as possible, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to fully finish these stairs just from those leftover materials. I know they're not they're not even yet. I just set them here as like a placeholder to kind of visualize it. I think you can see the vision now. I'm pretty much just gonna replicate this and put one there, anchor those those into the concrete and then screw those into the, you know, the ones that are screwed into the concrete there. Use either some 2x6s or plywood to actually, you know, face the stairs. I still gotta figure that out, but I'm doing all this for the first time. Never done anything like this before. Probably super easy to someone that's made stairs. I was gonna, because Corey and the Keen Rams dude said they'd totally help me out with this and do it for me. They're coming next month to do the wall ride, and it's like, I don't want to feel like an incompetent idiot that can't do anything themselves. I'm sure if the Keen Rams guys were to do this, they would do it a little bit better and it would be a little bit more professionally done, but this is just a learning experience for me. I've made that pretty clear that, I mean, like, moving here, I wanna just learn how to do shit like this and be able to do things myself, even if that means they come out a little wonky. Gotta learn somehow. Another embarrassing story. I've never used a hammer drill before. I mean, it seems pretty self-explanatory, so if I'm doing something wrong, instead of making fun of me, tell me how to do it right. How hard can it really be, right? Jesus Christ, that's insane. Oh, it died. I was getting into that. I should probably be wearing a mask, huh? It's probably not good to inhale. Oh, let's go, baby. I'm using some bootleg Amazon batteries with it, so don't judge me there either. My dumb ass lost the charger for the batteries though, so I'm gonna go search for that and charge them up and let you know when I find it. I've also never used a concrete anchor in my entire life, but after looking at the packaging for 4 seconds, it looks like it goes in and then the washer and then the nut. How does that work? I'm trying to just copy these ones, so I got it in and now I'm just gonna hammer it or zap it in. Okay, that just pulled it out. Maybe I have to watch like a YouTube video or something. I think that worked. I'm probably doing this wrong, but I mean, I think as long as I get to the end goal, that's fine. So we drill through the wood, and then we start that concrete hole. Now we go through and finish off the hole. I should for sure be wearing a mask. All right. Again, I don't know if I'm doing this the right way, but this is what I did last time and it worked. There we go. Yeah, I mean, that's securing it for sure. Tighten this one back up. And there we go. Now we have 2 of them on. God damn it. The iPhone says level, but when I just backed up, that is the most unlevel thing I've ever done in my entire life. Why am I using an iPhone? I have a real level upstairs. Oh, that's karma for being lazy. It doesn't matter, it'll still work. Ready? We set the level in. Look at that. It's in the middle. It's level. And then the iPhone said this one was level, so we used the real level. And look at how far off it is, dude. Oh my God. I mean, all that really matters is that the tops of these are level. These are literally just to keep the stairs connected to the concrete. It doesn't matter, it's just embarrassing and ugly, but it's gonna be covered up. Shh, don't tell anyone. All right, so I'm dying, but we got it done. Our thermometer in here, we're getting up there. We're at about 91 degrees right now. I think it's what, like 101 outside, so it's cooler in here. I got all of these bad boys mounted and level, and I put that in a quote because this whole project is sort of going by good enough. This one was pissing me off, so I actually flipped it over and I did do it properly. So that one's actually level now, just because even though it was gonna be covered, it was gonna drive me crazy. So now we are level. Well, that's not level. We are level and we are just about level. Close enough. I screwed these to that. I screwed these to that. I screwed these to that. So everything is secure and set in stone now. And then I was just kind of setting this up here just to make sure like everything's gonna zap in fine, and it looks like we're good. I still don't know what I'm doing. Lo and behold, they're actually starting to begin to look like stairs. Look at that. They definitely look a little bootleggy for now. These are all the 2x6s that were holding up the wall support there, and we got them in, and I numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I marked where I'm gonna cut them to have them all even and have them somewhat flush against this wall, but this door has to open, so I left some space. We still have to go through. There's so many nails and stuff just sticking through these. So we gotta get all the nails out, we gotta cut them to size, we gotta screw them into the what are those called again? Stringers, the stringers. Keep wanting to call them swingers. That's gonna be the support, because I mean right now you can actually walk up them and they're super sturdy even though they're not screwed in. That's gonna be supporting the weight of the rail. And then we're gonna go through and put either some OSB, because we have some out there, some plywood if we can find some, and cover the fronts. And then we also are gonna cover the seams here. Then I gotta chop that. that, and then we're gonna put it on, and I feel like somewhere along the way we're gonna find out a problem with this whole plan, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And now the cutting begins. Hold on. Things are coming along here. We got them all a uniform length. We have ample space here to make sure the garage can still open. And I mean, it's starting to look a whole lot like a stair set. Got some screws and I'm just gonna boink, 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 boink. That's the sound it makes. Look at that. Those are some stairs, baby. Oh, look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Sturdy as can be. Those are stairs. They work as stairs great. 1, 2, 3. I've never been more excited to walk up and down 4 stairs in my entire life. Now I think we're gonna rip some sheets of OSB or plywood or whatever we got to clear or to cover that gap that the 2x6s make and to cover the front of them there. And then figure out the whole Berrics rail situation, and we're just gonna make that work whether it wants to or not. Now we see if it fits. Flap her on. Oh, we haven't cut it to length yet though. It's not long enough. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna make this work one way or another. We wanted an inch overhang though, and it's looking good, so I think we're just gonna follow through with this and kind of puzzle piece it together and make it work. We're recycling everything here, so it's not gonna be pretty, but it's gonna work. All right, I feel like I'm going about this the sketchiest way possible. Got a angle grinder here, and then we're just gonna go along right there. It's not solid, so it'll just take a minute and just slowly cut around it. All right, we're halfway through it. Made it almost all the way through, and I think we just give it a good old smack. Hey, and we should be good. Thanks. Gotcha, bitch. Yeah, not bad, actually. All right, I'm starting the bid at $1,000. Imagine. This is gonna be our first time now that we have that post cut. This is gonna be our first time actually seeing what the angle of the rail is gonna look like. Still gotta get a hole saw and drill a hole so that this can go in it, but we're just gonna mount it next to it just to get an idea of what we're looking. I mean, regardless of what it looks like, we're in too deep. So whatever happens, we're gonna make it work, but I am curious. So here's what we're looking at, and I mean, it's sort of what I thought was gonna happen. Where because we're missing a stair, because it was supposed to be the Berrics 5 rail, and now it's the Garrett 4 rail, that, I mean, it shoots you straight into the ground, which I'd prefer that, because if we move it up, then it's 6 inches higher to get onto, which also isn't really optimal. So here, lift that up 6 inches if you can. Yeah, like see right, I feel like right there is the height that we want. Okay, so I think what we're gonna have to do here is weld on something, add a new flange instead of this flange, and bolt that flange to the ground, because we kind of need that extra 6 inches. Story of my life. Well, I always try to get everything I need on the first try, but if there's one thing I've learned about myself, it's that when I'm working on a project like this, I tend to make about 3 or 4 trips to Home Depot in one day. We're back. I made a list this time of things that we need. Hole saw, square tubing. We're gonna make an extension. It'll make sense later. I forgot the other stuff, but that's why I have a list. This is getting more and more bootleg as we go. We were hoping they would have a 2-inch square steel tube, because that's what the rail is made out of. They don't. They only have 1-inch square steel tubes, but they have 2-inch angle iron, so now we're thinking to get this, cut it in half, and weld it into a square. Wish us luck. And now we're looking for hole saws, because this is our tube that we brought. I think it's 2.5 inch. Boom, looking good. Alrighty, we're back from Home Depot, and it is go time. I don't know how to use a hole saw. A lot of I mean, it's just like a drill bit, right? It's just a lot of first time things. All right, we mapped out where we think makes the most sense. The landing's gonna be kind of a shit show, I think. Just when the wall ride's built, it's gonna be super tight and compact, but it is what it is. I think it'll be fun regardless. Just like a mess around rail. What do? I just do it, right? I just go, we're just going in. Ah. I forgot, we're going through the OSB and then the 2x6 underneath too. Am I being like dumb or what's going on here?
We don't know what we're doing.
We're so clueless right now. It's in forward. Should I put it in reverse, Terry? Maybe it's bottoming out on that. All I want is a rail, man. This has turned into such a task. It's making me feel really dumb. It's like I don't know how to use tools. I had to ask you guys how to cook a steak the other day. What kind of man am I? Gotcha. Got you a present.
Sick.
I mean, just like using my brain, it seems like it should just work. Okay, it bottomed out. That's what it was. Taking out that little thing helped. I got you a bigger present this time. You know I got you. Now, we hope this works. Yeah. Okay, this is looking like a rail. We wanted to get that in first because now we are gonna have to level it. Okay, just so it's not putting a bunch of pressure on it.
That actually looks good right there.
That does look good. So now, this is a never-ending project. I feel like I've been doing this for hours. It has been hours. It's been 9 hours. This is just an unnecessary job. Now we have to cut this in half, weld this together so we have a square tube. Then we have to measure the square tube, cut the square tube, cut that, weld the square tube onto that to extend that. It's go time, baby. I'm so ready to have, but this is gonna be done. I'm not even gonna want to skate anymore. I'm just making a ton of red hot sparks onto a bunch of sawdust. Should I sweep it? No, we have a fire extinguisher. We took measurements and we decided we needed a 4-inch extension. So I'm cutting 2 4-inch pieces, welding those together. Kind of just like an annoying step that we had to do because they didn't have 2-inch square piping. So yeah, kind of like an unnecessary step, but it is what it is.
All the skater rail.
I know, all this to skate a rail.
Dude, it looks sick though.
I think it'll be worth it. I think like the landing is gonna be a little ridiculous, but it is what it is.
The people want the sweeping content.
I know, I was sweeping off camera and Ryan's like, hell no you aren't. You owe the fans the sweeping content. All right, no more fires. We now have a 4-inch square tubing. Now we gotta actually weld that together. I have a brand new welding table over there, but we haven't set it up yet, so I'm using my bootleg welding station. It's just like there's not a single even spot on it. All right, close your eyes. Here goes nothing. Aha, she's tacked.
Nice.
She ain't pretty, but she's done. Hot, 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 hot. That looks about right to me. Yeah?
Yeah, that looks good.
Getting somewhere, boys. I would like to reiterate here that this is a judgment-free zone. First of all my fingerboard obstacles are TIG welded. So the little minuscule amount of welding knowledge I have is for TIG welding. We're on the MIG welder right now, but I don't even have my gas hooked up, so we're using flux cord wire, and it's been a solid year since I've done anything MIG related. What I'm getting at is that these welds are going to be absolute garbage, and I expect no one to mention anything about how garbage they are, all right? All right. That's not bad for flux cord. A little bubbly here and there. Take an angle grinder to it, clean her up. She's good as new. Here we go, ladies and gents, take 2. I'm not gonna lie, I have my welding visor a little too dark, so I'm going in completely blind, but it's coming out decent. This one was better. I got it a little bit hotter. I noticed it properly adhering there. There's a saying that I've been living by lately, and it's good enough. Look how perfectly the Ryobi, the saw and the rail match. They're meant to be together. I sure was talking a lot about not cutting this rail up, and here I am cutting this rail up. The difference is I'm not selling the parts, all right? I'm saying, here's the plan. We hack it off. Doesn't really matter where we hack it off. The goal is we have to extend this 4 inches for the dimensions to be the same. So I'm just gonna cut it. We're nearing the finish line. I can taste the finish line. This is gonna take 17 years, bro. Oh, my arms feel like they're gonna fall off. Aha. I may have said it had to be perfectly straight, and it may not be perfectly straight. It's just, it's like a 22-degree angle. Yeah, no, it's gonna be fine. Everything's okay. Look, we uncovered a piece of Berrics history. It was this old green, then it was another green, then it was an orange. It looks like it was a blue at some point. It was another green, and then it was a red, and then it was a green. That's crazy. A lot of Berrics history right here. Bro, this thing was smothered in paint. Oh, am I done yet? Ow, it got in my shoe. Holy shit, that hurt. One of the blotches of the flux cord wire went in my shoe.
It's called slag.
Yeah, that's the word. That shit hurt. Let's bring her home. What, one more weld?
One more weld, and it's on the most important part. You can get all crooked.
It's just a little bit crooked. I'm sweating immensely. We got this thing tacked on. It's crooked. It's a rail. No one's gonna notice. We're just gonna, this is the final weld. Let's get her done. I hope no one ever looked at that weld I just did. Ah, let's mount it up. Ha ha ha, we're done. She's sturdy, baby. She's not going anywhere. Oh man, holy shit. I feel like I just built an entire skate park and all I did was put a pre-existing rail into the ground. Wow, okay, let's evaluate here. We're not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna paint it, everything's gonna be fine, all right? I don't wanna hear it. Now, the height from here to the ground is actually exactly the same as it was at the Berrics because that's why we had to extend that. Because there's one less stair, we had to alter it. The height onto it is exactly the same as it was on the Berrics because it's the first stair down. Lengthwise, I mean, you're going directly into a wall. That's the only kind of bummer here. I'm gonna talk to Corey from Keen Ramps. The wall ride's going there, and maybe we can do like a little bank up to it or something to make it like a little bit more practical. The deed's done. The Berrics 5 rail will forever live on. I have a whole big mess to clean up. I gotta Bondo this crack as well and get these nails out of here. I skate stopped my own spot. I am so exhausted. All I wanna do is shower and clean up and be done, but I gotta do one trick. It's time. All of my hard work is gonna pay off. I'm a little bummed is the wrong word. I anticipated it and I knew it was gonna be this way. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with this landing. I'm gonna land and have a 1.5 foot before I smash into a wall. Worst case scenario. I mean, this can be a temporary thing, and then when Keen Ramps comes, we can relocate it. I think it'd be cooler to figure out something over here that works as the wall ride and a way to kind of flow around. I feel like it's my obligation. I guess I have a stair set now too. Let's just I'll do a couple stair tricks. I really don't want to skate right now. I want to go to sleep. Practical. I think it's in a good spot. I can still hit it from this side. Especially once that scaffolding is gone too. It's time for the rail. This is gonna be the first time the Berrics 5 rail has been skated since it was torn out of the Berrics. It will live on forever. Just cuts to me like, no, I'm not gonna say it. No bad energy. I started having bad thoughts right before I popped. It's for sure sackable. Now that there's not that 5th stair there, that's the one thing I didn't think of. There's repercussions now. Oh no, there's repercussions to your actions. This is not good. Oh man. We're gonna have to figure something out there. Nice.
What was the trick that you did most on this rail?
I mean, my go-to always was like first thing I do when I go to the Berrics is I backside board slide this and then frontside 50-50 it. So I guess I gotta do that. It feels just like the Berrics rail minus the rollaway. A little crooked grind action. It's obviously like ridiculously quick here. I'm getting used to it. Front lip, that's a sackable trick, man. I know this is sort of sad, but like, kind of wanted to incorporate more skating into this video, but like, I'm past the point of just physical exhaustion, plus like kind of the sketchiness of the landing. I just don't want to hurt myself. I want to end on a good note. Hell of a success, if I do say so myself. Ryan, thank you for helping. Much appreciated. I think I would have been in a little over my head if I did this alone.
The most important part is we got the stairs done.
We got the stairs done. I am pretty damn hyped on the stairs. At Home Depot, we actually picked up, it was a discount paint. This thing was like $9 or something. It's kind of, I mean, we tried to match it to the gray, but it was $9, so I said close enough. I'm gonna paint the stairs to kind of get rid of the ugly OSB look. Paint this so A, it doesn't rust, and B, it doesn't look quite as bad as it looks. But no, I mean, dude, this was such a sick success.
I had a good time. It was fun.
Oh yeah, thank you again.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate you guys watching. If you have any ideas on how we can include the wall ride and a sort of slope that way, let me know. I haven't even talked to Keen Ramps about it yet, so I'm curious what they're gonna say. But I mean, we did it. So, I mean, I learned a lot. I used a lot of tools for the first time, and I feel like I'm a more well-rounded human now. So appreciate you guys watching. Thank you to all the channel members as well. We're up over 30 channel members now, which is crazy. Appreciate each and every one of you that goes above and beyond to support me and the channel. It goes into stupid, absurdly expensive projects like this one. Those drill bits like $30, bro. Appreciate all you guys. Love you, and see you next video. Peace out.